Hi Charlie, welcome to the 84th day of my video polling experiment where I break down and analyze the LinkedIn poll that I posted last week and that closed this morning. Now, last week's poll was, how often do you make impulse purchases? There were 4 answer choices: often, sometimes, occasionally, and never. 86 people voted on this poll, which is right in line with my average of about 80 to 85 votes per poll, so this poll got pretty good performance, but unfortunately not something particularly spectacular. 16% of these voters said that they often make impulse purchases, 20% of them said they sometimes make impulse purchases, a bare majority, 52% of them, said they occasionally make impulse purchases, and 12% said that they never make impulse purchases. So it looks like impulse purchasing is something that happens occasionally for most people. Every once in a while you see something that you really, really like and you decide to kind of buy it on a whim, but it's not necessarily a detrimental habit to your overall financial health. You're not impulsively spending on things every night while scrolling through TikTok in bed, which is good, but I certainly hope that doesn't change for the worst. Now here's some statistics about impulse shopping. 84% of US shoppers have made impulse purchases. Impulse shopping represents 40% of the money spent on e-commerce. 54% of US shoppers have spent over $100 on an impulse buy. 8 in 10 impulse buys are made in a brick-and-mortar store, which I thought was a very interesting finding because the general impression is that these impulse purchases happen when you're alone in your room scrolling through social media, scrolling through TikTok Shop, and you see something promoted by a content creator and you think, oh my goodness, that looks so cool, I want to have it. But this metric seems to be saying that you make most of these impulse purchases, or at least more of them, when you're actually in a retail brick-and-mortar location, when you're actually looking at the item in person, when you can touch it, feel it, and sort of visualize ownership of it, which I think is very interesting and gives a pretty good argument for the existence of brick and mortar stores, like, for instance, Costco, whose entire business model is built on you seeing those shiny items, like that shiny new fridge, that shiny new patio furniture set, that shiny new kayak for the summer, and thinking, oh my goodness, I want that, I need that, and I'm sure I'm going to have a great time with this thing. 46% of men and 52% of women have regretted an impulse purchases. 7 of 10 consumers spend impulsively on their phones in bed. Again, that kind of image of sitting on your bed, lying on your bed, and scrolling through TikTok Shop and using TikTok Shop to buy a cool little trinket product promoted by one of these content creators. Also, 37% of impromptu shopping happens in bed, which is a very interesting finding and probably goes to show that perhaps we are using our phones in bed a bit too much. I myself definitely try to avoid doing that just because it feels a bit wrong to mix a place that's dedicated for rest and relaxation and sleeping with just doing anything on your phone. I don't think that's necessarily very healthy, but if you want to be using your phone in bed, good for you. But just remember that impulse shopping seems to happen a lot under those kinds of circumstances, and that isn't always the best thing. Now, before I go, I would like to show you this poll as it appears on LinkedIn, just to prove that I'm not making this distribution up. So here is the poll as it appears on LinkedIn. As you can see, it got 86 votes, and the most popular answer choice was making impulse purchases occasionally, which got 52% of the overall votes. Anyway, Charlie, thank you for listening to my little spiel about impulse shopping. This certainly wasn't the most exciting poll. I'm not even sure what inspired this poll question in the first place. Perhaps it was some statistics that I saw in my newsletter, or that I had a friend who made an impulse purchase that I was a bit dubious about and just decided to ask my audience what their perception of impulse shopping was. But anyway, Charlie, thank you so much for listening to my little spiel about impulse shopping. Stay tuned tomorrow for my 85th video poll analysis. I can't believe that I've been doing these poll questions, these poll video analyses for 12 weeks now, but I will certainly keep going for many more weeks. So anyway, Charlie, thank you for listening and have a wonderful day.